Welcome back to the Last Week This Week podcast, episode 51. I'm Ian Scott.
And I'm Zack Huber.
And this is the podcast where we talk about nerd topics from the last week and this week. And here we have a bunch of trailers we want to go over with you guys today and some other topics.
Yeah, I feel like the podcast is just us talking about trailers, and then we eventually get around to some topics.
Yeah,
but that's okay because, you know, some of these trailers are freaking cool.
Super cool.
And these topics are really dope as well. So we are going to talk about the Acolyte trailer, which I know a lot of people may not be liking. We'll also talk about the Captain America and Black Panther trailer game that is coming out, as well as a reported Deadpool and Wolverine multiverse concept. A live action Teen Titans movie is getting developed, which I know my co-host is very excited about. And at the very end, Aaron Taylor Johnson, also known as Craven, is going to maybe be the next James Bond. Maybe.
Possibly.
So stick around to find out. But first,
let's talk about that double House of the Dragon trailer.
Yeah. So we're gonna possibly do the podcast yesterday, and then we got the news that the trailer was going to be coming out because we got these character posters. So we're like, okay, we'll do it the next day. And so we can talk about the posters first.
Sure.
But regarding the trailer, I was shocked, and I think it's genius that they had this dual trailer campaign come out. But real quickly, just regarding the posters, I know they're just posters, but I just wanted to comment that I don't know. I think it's funny. Like, I like the concept of like them looking at each other, but it's just like, I don't know. I look at them and I'm like, oh yeah, all the bad guys are looking to the right and all the good guys are looking to the left. And I'm like, all right, cool. But besides that, we got the trailers, which was the black trailer and the green trailer. And Ian, what did you think?
I mean, obviously, I was super shocked that there was two trailers at the same time. I don't think they like in tone very much like differ per se, but they're like obviously two different perspectives, one of House Green and one of House Black. And I don't know. I think, you know, I don't know if you remember my first, like, I guess my first time watching it, I was more like, I'm not really rooting for anyone. I'm just more so like enjoying the story and the characters and just seeing where it goes. Watching like the black trailer and then the green trailer, it made me realize how much I am like maybe rooting for the blacks in this sense. Yeah. Because there's not necessarily like any good guys on the green side. And like, you know, I don't know. I feel like you could point to like the what is the Valerians? You know, like Corlys and Rhaenys. Yeah. Like I look at them as like morally kind of good, like over everyone else, maybe.
Right.
And so the fact that they've backed the blacks feels like something. And I, you know, and speaking of that, like the posters, I love that they were all like the side characters in a sense. Like I feel like they really emphasized that like Rhaenyra and Alicent are like the two main characters now. Like they are head to head, two mothers and fighting for their families. And I loved it. I love seeing both perspectives. I thought there was, I think there's going to be a lot of dragons, obviously, even more than the first season. It looks great. I'm super hyped about it.
I'm gonna clarify. I loved the first season, but like I told you, I did not enjoy the trailers. I was not pumped up by the trailers from the first season.
Well, remember there was a trailer that came out before these two, and we skipped talking about it because it was so like, eh.
Right, and so I just want to say I was pretty lukewarm about all the trailers for the first season. Like, and I was pretty nervous about the first season when it came out because I just didn't know what to think.
Right.
I gotta say, I'm excited for season 2. These trailers didn't do too much for me, to be completely honest. Like, I got the idea.
They reminded you of like what's at stake and like what's to come, and like in a badass way, you know. Like I don't know. I
hear ya. Yeah. I just and I get it. They're like, it's war. I'm like, you know, I get it. it. I'm just saying, I'm hoping that this season will also be amazing.
Yeah, and
that I just don't. Because I feel like the parts of House of the Dragon that I like the most are the ones that aren't trailer worthy, you know? Like there's the things I like about the show are not the things that you would typically see in the trailer.
Right.
So I think that's the only thing. Because I'm like, yeah, okay, we're going to get some cool fight scenes and dragons.
Sure, a lot of the trailers were a lot of just like visual, like landscapes, and then dragons, and just kind of vague-ish stuff.
Right.
So I get like why you say that, but I don't know. I think the fact that like I think the fact that there's 2 trailers from 2 different perspectives really like enhances them both. Like I love seeing like, I mean, and it's not like a huge detail, but like the people saying, you know, like at the very beginning and end, like we fight for our queen, and then on the other one, it's like we fight for our king, and
right.
And I think what really showed in the green trailer is like I think we're really gonna see like possibly like an evolution towards like Aegon becoming more Joffrey like. You know, I think he's really gonna have like a season where he's a piece of shit.
And, I mean, he was already a piece of shit in the first season.
Sure, but I think now with power, he's gonna turn like way worse. Like
probably
just yeah, because he's like yeah, basically bring on war.
Yeah.
So he's gonna be peak awfulness.
Right.
And then you also got. I mean, I can't believe Aemond is so confident against Daemon. I think that's a mistake, but you know. We'll see how that battle turns.
I like how, like, especially with the posters, I like how they clearly are like
those 2,
each other, but on each other's side, like on their own sides. Like it's clearly like we get it. They're the same person in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
I will say one of the scenes that I liked the most was when Daemon was saying, look, you either bend the knee or your house burns.
Yes, I was like, I love that we're seeing like, you got to pick a side, and if you don't pick ours, you're dead. You know, like that is what I expect from Daemon, and that's what I kind of expect from this like insanely brutal war that's about to happen.
Right.
So, yeah, no, I think the vibes and the tones and the way like the story looks like it's going forward is all super exciting, and I love that we got to see both perspectives already. So,
right. Yeah. It reminds me of when the marketing for Captain America Civil War came out, and they did have a lot of like Team Tony, Team Cap, and I like the opposing ideas and philosophies. I think this time around, it's a little hard for me to. I need to hear somebody's take, but it's a little hard for me to hear somebody be like, look, I like Team Green.
I think the only redeemable part of Team Green is the fact that Alicent believes she's doing this like for completely just reasons. You know, like she believes that her late husband on his deathbed actually swore in or wanted Aegon to be king.
Right.
So yeah, I mean, that's the only thing. And then, you know, obviously I have a soft spot for Aemond. Maybe that's not obvious, but from past podcasts, it might be obvious. He's just like, there's certain characters like you would like love to play as like in D&D as a villain. And like, that is like the exact kind of character I'd want to make as a villain in like, like a role-playing game. Right. I don't know. There's just something like everything about him is badass. Yeah, he made a really horrible mistake at the very last bit of the season there. And yeah, he seems kind of like a really big coward and piece of shit after that. But, you know, maybe he turns it around. I don't know.
I mean,
we'll see.
I think like he and Allison, like, because I can't remember everything with Aemond, but he wasn't.
You remember what I was referring to, though, right?
Yes. Okay. But like, I can't remember. Like, I think he had more sympathetic qualities about him that, like, he's not necessarily. Sure. He's just. I think
he was bullied as a kid.
He was bullied a lot. Like, he feels like he's got to like prove himself, and like there's these things that like I completely understand, and
he
so like
he's rightful for the throne, and
So it's not that I can't see the different sides, but you know, I do think that there's one person who is absolutely the villain, and that would be Otto.
Yeah, for sure.
Because he's manipulated
this whole thing.
Everybody.
Yeah. Otto's gotta go. Yeah. Although I don't want to see him die, but like
he's gonna die.
He's gotta go. Yeah, he's gotta go. Yeah. Yeah. But those are my thoughts.
And I can't help but miss my boy Viserys. I'm so sad.
Yeah. But you know, it had to happen for this war to start. So
I know.
Yeah. It's a shame.
He's gonna be missed.
He will be missed for sure. But I think Rhaenyra and Alicent can take the reins, you know. I think they got the acting power. So
yeah.
Excited. June 14th, June 4th, June 16th. I can't remember.
I think it's June 16th.
It's June 16th. That's the one. Third time's a charm.
Yeah.
So like, we'll be watching it.
A little under 3 months away.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I can't wait to crack open that wine.
Yeah, for anybody that doesn't know, Ian got me 2 bottles of House of the Dragon wine, and I've been holding on to them for almost a year and a half, maybe 2 years.
I think I got them to you in October of 2022, so it'll be a little under 2 years when we open it.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
So
wild.
Nice. Yeah.
Very cool. So next trailer we want to talk about is another one that just dropped recently and is super in the news. It's The Acolyte from Star Wars. I was seeing that this was like the most viewed trailer in like 24 hours for a Star Wars property that was like owned by Disney, which blows my mind because like Episode 7 exists, like that trailer. So like how did that beat Episode 7? I don't know. But yeah, this one, like you mentioned earlier, it is getting pretty controversial or divisive.
Polarizing.
Yeah, I think right now it's got more dislikes than likes on YouTube.
I saw that too.
Yeah, so that's pretty cool. But you know, honestly, I like this trailer. I was saying for a long time that this was like the only show, Star Wars show that I think had like really good potential. And had really, so yeah, let's get into it. I love seeing just in general this High Republic era. Like I think I've wanted that for so long. I'm a huge fan of Coruscant. I think you guys know that if you watch Star Wars reviews from us. And we get a lot of that. We get a lot of the Jedi Temple in this trailer. I love seeing like the different races of like little Jedi like younglings. Later on we even get like a Jedi Wookiee in the trailer, which is super dope. And then I forgot that I'm forgetting her name. The actress who played Trinity in Matrix. I thought she looked familiar. Okay. Yeah, I was like, oh, she's perfect for Star Wars. Like I could see her immediately as a Jedi. And she's got like a really Jedi. You don't think so?
I don't think she's a Jedi.
I mean, she's wearing Jedi robes. So
but I think she might be infiltrating the Jedi.
Interesting. We'll see. That's a good theory. But she's got a very like really well, like she's got a really calm and like calculating like a like force ability to her. Like she just knows what she needs to do, and I don't know. I liked her presence on the trailer. But yeah, other
Carrie-Anne Moss.
Carrie-Anne Moss. There we go. Thank you. I think there's like we get a lot of like different like Jedi abilities in this trailer, so I think we're going to be seeing like a lot of creativity with Jedi abilities throughout this show. Yeah, I like that this is probably a mystery. I think that's pretty cool. We're not gonna know like who this Jedi killer is per se for a while. Maybe after like the first 2 episodes we'll know. Maybe it'll be dropped at the end of the first episode. I don't know. Um, but yeah, I mean, I have some more thoughts, but I want to hear what you have to say.
So yeah, I think I understand why people don't like this trailer. I think I do, but I do like this trailer.
Yeah.
Like I'm a little disappointed because it's not quite the tone
sure
that I thought that this was going.
But it is in line with like other Star Wars things of late. Just not like Andor, you know.
Sure.
Right.
And we got the poster that had like an unlit lightsaber and there's blood
like
behind
a blood trail.
it.
Yeah.
And so,
yeah, you're thinking more gritty than that. Right.
So when you watch this trailer, you're like, okay. I mean, so I'll say I thought the Ahsoka trailer looked great. I thought the Book of Boba Fett trailer looked great. I thought the Obi-Wan trailer looked great. And just
Star Wars always kills with trailers, to be honest.
I'm not going to get my hopes up.
Sure,
I'm not going to look at the Jedi Wookiee and be like, ooh, Jedi Wookiee, so cool. Because I'm nervous that it won't. Like, I feel like it's like, oh, that's a cool idea, and then it won't be executed. But I will say, just by watching the trailer, I'm intrigued. I think there's parts of it that are cool. I'm interested. I like the mystery idea. I hope that it's not something that gets dragged out for the entire season. And one disappointing thing that I'm tired of, that I can't believe that they're still doing, is the director said it's going to be 8 episodes.
Yeah.
And most of them are 30 minutes or less.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry. Fuck that. Like, I'm just tired of it. And it doesn't work. It just simply does not work. And they keep doing it. And I don't know.
They needed to be at least an hour or 45 minutes. I mean, they need to feel substantial. And I feel like if you like, honestly, those half an hour ones, I think are going to be like 25 minutes because you always have like a ton of credits. So you're probably looking at like a 3.5 hour like total runtime for this thing.
Why don't you not just make a movie?
Just do a movie. Right. Exactly. But Disney, I mean, like, there was that report that like, basically with Bob Chapek, they were being like just make as much content as fast as possible for Disney Plus.
Yeah.
And it's just like I feel like
you have these ideas made during that time, so like it's just like the outcome. It's like they have it, but at that point, I'm like, why don't you just cut it down to a movie? But
yeah, no, I mean, but it's probably not a movie budget, so maybe it wouldn't like look as good in a theater. I don't know.
But like just like a Disney Plus movie, then
Yeah, I mean, that is a strategy that like other streaming services are doing, just releasing movies straight to, and Disney's done that with Pixar movies. So, yeah. I don't know.
Anyways, that's just a little tangent off to the side. Besides that, I think our main character, who's going to be that Acolyte, she looks pretty cool.
Yeah.
I enjoy the multicolored lightsaber that and some fight that's gonna go down.
Yeah, the last shot was cool. I like the fact that they threw the lightsaber. There's a bunch of like 7 lightsabers, and then they all run. And that's dope. I like that a lot. I would love to see a full on. Obviously we're not going to get anything as big as like the end of episode 2, but like just multiple lightsabers going at each other. I'd love to see that.
I would settle for a Phantom Menace fight.
Oh, sure. I mean, we're not going to get anything close to that. But what I am hoping for is I really hope they don't butcher the choreography, because like to me, it's like it's all been excusable like for what we've seen from Star Wars, because everything that we've seen Disney put out is past episode 3. And I think when you go back in time, like, I know this sounds weird, but like, if you don't know Star Wars, but like the lightsaber fighting is just it's a refined art back then. And obviously, like what we saw from episodes 1 through 3 was just a more advanced style of fighting than anything we had seen past that. And so I'm really hoping we get at least like a taste of what we got in the prequels, because that's truly some of the best fight scenes, I've ever seen. So yeah, hoping we get that. But yeah, getting into
hopefully. But could you make the argument that since this is 100 years beforehand, the fighting style has not been refined enough? We haven't gotten to that point
yet. There's no way that like the peak was at the very end. There's no way that was the case. I don't know. To me, Yoda has barely aged in 100 years in my eyes. So he's going to be like a crazy fighter still. Like, he's probably going to be even better than what he was at the end of episode 3. So I don't know. Is
Yoda supposed to be during this?
I mean, Yoda's 900 years old at the end of episode 6.
Okay.
So yeah, he's. I mean, he should be the leader of the Jedi Council. I mean, is what he should be. So I hope we see him. I don't think we saw him in the trailer at all, right?
I don't think so.
It'd be nice to see Yoda. I would love that. Hopefully he's not just away on some mission for the whole time.
Right.
That would kind of suck. But yeah, getting into the stuff that's been divisive though, I think people have been very worried that this is like breaking canon in some way. I don't know if you've seen that online, but basically
I haven't seen that. No.
Yeah, there's this line in the prequels where they're like we haven't seen like there hasn't like been a Sith scene in like 1,000 years or like in a millennium basically. And so everyone's like, okay, so everyone who sees this red lightsaber at the end has to die because no one can go into the future knowing that a Sith was around. But I think what people are, and I think I've seen people respond with this type of response, but in the trailer there's a specific line where I can't remember exactly, but it's like it's not about the good and the bad. It's like, to me that shows it's like it's not about the Jedi and the Sith, but maybe it's somebody who's like more of a like Force elitist who is killing Jedi who they don't believe deserve to use it. I think that's possible, and I think you can use the dark side of the Force without having to be a Sith and use it for your own benefit with your own objectives. So yeah, I think that's my theory. I'm not saying it's a way around it, but I just think that's probably the case. I don't think it is going to be a Sith.
It could be. Yeah. Not gonna lie, if it's not a Sith, it does make me feel a little less excited about it.
Why though? I think you could have a really cool villain character who just wants to kill people who are unworthy.
Yes, but and I'm not saying I'll try my best to put expectations at the door, but I'm just saying that the premise of this show, for the most part, has been dark side user, if not explicitly said like Sith. And it's a part of Star Wars that would be interesting to see from that perspective.
Yeah.
So
I get that.
Here's the thing. They might break canon. It's been done before with fucking, Obi-Wan rescuing Princess Leia.
Sure. But I just think I think it's fine to believe like the wide like a majority of Jedi were like naive to there being Sith. Like I think it's possible that that there could have been a Sith before like Palpatine and whatnot, but they just didn't know about it, right?
I mean, there was Plagueis.
Right, and they didn't know about Plagueis. But I just think if you have a Sith user like directly fight like a bunch of Jedi, and then like somehow this doesn't get back to Yoda and he doesn't hear about it, and like I don't know, I just think it can get a little muddy, I think, and I think it would be safer to not have that person be a Sith. Maybe it would serve the story better for that series, but I don't know if it would serve the wider story of Star Wars better.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
Yeah.
I would also say like I feel like this whole series you would learn how like possibly how a lightsaber turns red. And I mean, I feel like you might be right, but I feel like for the general public, they're like under the assumption
Red equals Sith, right?
Which most of
for the
time
most part
it
it
is.
has, right? Yes.
So
right. No, I feel you.
I mean, the closest thing we got recently was with Balin,
right.
you know, and that wasn't even red. That was just like a deep orange,
right? Yeah, which was cool. I love that.
Which was cool, but
damn, I hate that we're not going to get to see his character, Ray Stevenson's character anymore. It sucks.
Somebody else will play him.
Yeah, I know, but it's a shame it's not him anymore.
I know.
Yeah. Well, I'm down to get into our last trailer if you want to. I think that's my thoughts on this.
Nope. I don't want to do it anymore.
Okay. Well, the podcast is over, everyone. I will talk to you all later.
All right. Until next time.
No, but this was another dope trailer. Another Disney brand. Surprise. But it is from New Line Media. Is that what it was?
Have they done a video game before? Because that was surprising. Yeah, I was like, New Line is definitely a movie company.
Yeah. New Media and Skydance.
Skydance, yeah, Skydance is a freaking movie company.
Yeah. No idea.
So interesting.
But yeah, this was announced a while ago, but we just got our first trailer for it. It's called Marvel 1943: The Rise of Hydra.
Weird title for a video game.
It is. I don't think I would have ever put like Marvel in a title per se. But I get that's a way to reach the general audience. It's just here's Marvel game. You
don't want to say. I mean, I guess it's kind of it's kind of interesting, but it's like, why don't you just say Captain America and Black Panther or something? You know,
I think what is unfortunate about this game and the trailer we see, like, there's these two side characters that are pretty prominent. There's a woman who's with Black Panther and then a soldier who's with Captain America, and you're going to be playing as those characters as well. Unfortunately, it's not just Captain America and Black Panther, but I think the trailer itself was pretty promising.
Look, they could be cool side characters, right?
Yeah. Sure, they could be.
You're probably like one of the what do you call the female warriors from Wakanda?
Oh, I
think it starts with a D. But like you might be one of them, and then with the guy, maybe he's like a shield agent, or
well, he's a soldier. I mean,
I guess you shield wouldn't be back then. So I guess you just be an ally of.
I'm just shocked they didn't pick Bucky. I think that's what I'm surprised about.
True.
You know, but yeah, I'm sure these could be good characters.
Mm-hmm.
But from the trailer we got, it looks like we're getting a lot of like early game stuff, which I think is a way to do a trailer. You don't show the whole story.
Dora Milaje.
Is that that's what they were called. Okay.
Yeah.
What was the name they were given in Black Panther 2? Do you remember? Like the eagle, like the things they were those costumes?
Yeah, I'll look it up.
Okay. But yeah, we get a lot of early stuff. Basically, we're seeing like scenes of them kind of like Black Panther hearing about Captain America and Captain America like hearing about this Black Panther individual. I'm really, those two characters in particular, I'm really liking their style, the way they've designed them. Like Captain America's suit.
Midnight Angels.
Okay. Yeah, but Captain America's suit reminds me of like the colors from like a modern like suit of his, but like it's got the style of like the old suits. So it's got like the perfect combination. It's like one of my favorite Captain America suits I've ever seen. And then Black Panther's got a really dope like look, and I like the voice behind him. Kari Payton is amazing. He's a great voice actor. all probably know him as Cyborg from Teen Titans.
Mm.
And I think he was Aqualad and Young Justice as well. But yeah, he's voicing T'Challa's grandfather in this. And I love that they're using his face. I think that's fantastic. And then the suit looks great. I love that they've given him this like big cape. Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
But yeah, what else? Yeah, I was shocked how much of this seemed to be in game. Like I don't think like all of it was, but like I was watching like the demo. They had like a little snippet of like demos afterwards, and they were showing just like in depth and how the graphics work, and like they were just showing like how like the ground they've developed so much like with mud and like just making it feel like super alive, and like if like a truck was to roll through, it would like keep the memory of like the imprints and in the mud. And then they were just showing like Cap walk on that bridge at the end, and like just kind of slowly going through like how his suit moves like in the game, and it looks like real clothing. Like they've like paid incredible attention to detail with this game, which is super awesome. But yeah, and then that end confrontation with Captain America and Black Panther, I thought was incredible. I was like, obviously both of those guys would not be taking orders from each other. And yeah, it's just.
I don't even know why. I don't even know why it's T'Chaka, right? Like I don't even know why he would even go back to go fight him. You know, I would have just been like, "Fuck you! I'm gonna keep going."
I think he wants to end the problem. I think he realizes this guy is like on his tails the whole time. T'Challa's grandfather.
Oh, it's not his. Oh, it's his grandfather. It wouldn't be his father. Okay. Yeah, it's probably not T'Chaka. T'Chanda. Okay. So, yeah, I'm gonna say maybe the game will be cool. I was not that excited about this trailer. Not gonna lie.
I think it's got some good moments, and I think it's got some good build up for like for the end of the trailer, which is like them meeting and fighting. I think it's gonna be a super cool level. I don't know. I think it has a lot of potential, and the game looks gorgeous. So,
I don't know. I wasn't. I know. I hear everything that you're saying, and I don't like. I do think the idea of like what you're talking about with the graphics is cool, but just generally watching it, I wasn't in. I do like the voice acting with Black Panther. I don't really. I think the Captain America seems a little weird. Like I don't know.
I liked his voice. I didn't love it, but I liked it. You know, I think it's weird whenever you don't hear Chris Evans as Captain America at this point.
Well, not necessarily.
I don't know,
but yeah. I don't know. It looked fine. I'm not super excited.
Okay. I can respect it.
I need more.
They didn't show.
I need more, and some of the action looked a little bland, you know, I need a little bit more story. Like, I don't know. When this first got announced, I was like, oh, that's really cool. And now I'm like, it could still be cool. I just need to see a bit more, you know, like,
yeah, I think what I'm kind of excited for too is maybe like kind of what's like the title of this game is implying, because like it feels like maybe they're just telling a greater Marvel, like a greater universe story in a sense, but like through the eyes of these two characters. And I really do think there's going to be like, maybe there'll be sequels after this. I don't know, but I feel like they're really setting something up with Hydra. Like, I think there's going to be something like really juicy there.
Right.
And I don't know what it is, but I'm excited to find out.
Yeah. I guess it does feel like this could be a new franchise that they kind of want to make.
Could be, yeah.
Because they're not necessarily like basing this off of two characters, like they're two, like Black Panther and Captain America. Like they could have just said that, but instead they chose 1943. Right. Maybe this will be a standalone thing. They'll do something else later on.
Yeah, or maybe it'll be like a Marvel 1969 or something later down. Right. Who knows? Yeah.
Maybe like some sort of anthology series through the years, and you could play as like Hank Pym and some other character. I'd love it
to be like, a superhero duo each time. That'd be cool.
Yeah, like maybe they have the rights to the Fantastic Four for a video game, and you're like Hank Pym and I don't know, the Thing. I don't know.
Sure, or you could just do Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Sure, that would be cool. That would be very cool. Yeah.
So yeah, I understand. I get all your points though. I do. So we'll have to wait and see.
Want to like it.
Yeah.
Wasn't crazy about it.
I feel you. So yeah, I say we get into all our stuff that's not trailers now, all the real topics per se.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we got a cool report from Daniel Reichman. Again, you have a familiar name. But yeah, basically there is a report about the new Deadpool and Wolverine movie and how this will introduce a new multiverse concept to the MCU. And basically every time, like there's in each universe, I should say, there's one specific hero that if they are killed, then the universe basically vanishes. Or implodes or whatever happens.
Or get removed from their universe.
Sure, if they die or get removed. Right. Which is very interesting. I think I can like in most Marvel, like the way they write things, I can kind of get how they work. Like they explain time travel super well in Endgame, and I don't see how this makes sense. But like you're basically saying this world has a main character, and I'm just like, do I want that? I don't know.
I feel like they're potentially going to make this how they kind of teased it with WandaVision, where she was being referred to as like a Nexus being. And
I forgot about that.
I am wondering. Nexus, if I remember, is kind of like this converging point in time.
Okay.
And one way or another, very important person, they kind of hinge the future of all things, which is kind of what they were saying. Like, you're the Scarlet Witch, you're going to bring upon all these different things. So I don't necessarily think that they're done with Wanda. So I wouldn't be surprised if this is part of it. Does it make a whole lot of logical sense? No, not really. Like but I think I can probably buy into it enough. I think it's a little ridiculous to be, but I get
but it's
it.
Deadpool, so
like if what I'm trying to understand, what I think is what's they're implying is this character, like that your timeline is on this trajectory, and almost all the decisions in every universe hinge on this one person making this one decision. And if it doesn't happen, like it, so like I'm guessing like that's what it's going to be.
Like if I think it's if Iron Man had died sooner in like Earth 616, then I think maybe like everything goes,
Potentially.
Right. That's interesting. So I can kind of see the logic there now. Yeah.
So that might be what's going on.
Yeah. I like that.
And I think that's an interesting take on how to bring about the incursions and what's going on. Unless like that's not the incursions and that's just like a new thing, which to be honest, like if this is a new thing, too many things going on in the multiverse. So wait,
what are the incursions per se?
Well, the incursions is what happened with Doctor Strange when like he went into the other universes and it caused that world to start like collapsing in on itself because people aren't supposed to be
right. Okay.
Going from universe to universe.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know. But
yeah, I mean there's a lot of rules being set for sure.
There's too many rules.
Yeah.
But I think this would probably be either Wade has to save the person from being killed, or he's gonna go kill that person.
That's the one. I think that's exactly what I was theorizing. Like I don't know how many podcasts ago that he was gonna like be closing universes basically. And
I wonder if if it'll be like like Tom Wamsgam will be like kind of the
it's just that guy's name now. Whenever he's in, it's Tom Wambsgame.
That Michael McFadden's character will be maybe a little evil and like, hey, why don't you wipe out all these problem universes so that we can have this agenda go forward, and maybe it be Kang or whatnot. So
I just wonder how, like, why Deadpool agrees to do this, or like, I want to know, the setup. I'm very curious. Yeah.
And considering we got the news that Avengers 5 may not be called necessarily Kang Dynasty, but that they're still apparently moving forward with Kang.
Yeah.
It could be something to do with that. I don't know, but
it's possible. I don't know what the connection is per se, but
wiping out universes that pose a threat.
Oh, you think like maybe Kang is like still influencing the TVA or something, or
potentially?
Yeah. Okay. I could get
Depends on when Deadpool and Wolverine takes place.
Yeah, I'm curious about this TVA we're seeing, because obviously we don't see anybody we know from the TVA.
Right.
Yeah, I wonder if like because they left, like TVA just got worse again, or I don't know. I don't know what happened. But like, because like Mobius, he did leave, right? I mean, he went to his family at the end of Loki season 2, right?
Yeah. But they still had the girl who you still had that one TVA member who she was like she stayed behind.
The black girl?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I forget. I don't know what her name was.
Yeah, but and he also had that Wade? Was that his name? Or?
No, not Wade. But I know you're talking about
the guy who was a fan of Obi.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't remember his name though. But he's still there, right?
Yeah, he's still there.
Okay. All right. So you still got a couple of, but they weren't in like positions of power. I hope they get
she was. I think she was. Yeah.
Okay. Because she was just an agent, like a TVA, like
I think
soldier agent.
I think she graduated.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Well, I'd be cool to see her. I'd be down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But also, that was a huge place, and we only saw like one section of the TVA. So it could just be another section. You know, that place is
run by a different
endless
people.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll see. I think it's a interesting concept to say the least. If it's true. Yeah, I can't remember what else was reported that kind of like made me believe this was like pretty true, but yeah, I think there's something else out there that kind of like links with this theory. So, but yeah, we won't get into that. So next topic we want to talk about is a dear one to me. We get a live action Teen Titans movie. We talked about this a few weeks ago. I can't remember, but it was rumored and reported, and James Gunn was like, yeah, one of these four things are true, and others could be true, but one of them at least is true, and so at least we know this one is true now.
Right.
It is going to be directed by Anna Nogueira.
Well, it's the script is being written by her.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, you're right. Writing the script.
And she is the screenwriter who wrote the script for the Supergirl movie that's going to be coming out.
Okay. So, yeah, clearly James Gunn is a fan of their writing. That's pretty cool.
Right.
Yeah, I don't think I expected this news, especially I mean, like I don't even know if a script has been written for Batman, like The Brave and the Bold.
Yeah, I'm curious about that.
Right, and now they're writing a script for Teen Titans that wasn't even announced in Phase 1. Or the first 10 projects of Phase 1. I don't know how long Phase 1 is going to be. But yeah, this was a super surprising announcement. I'm incredibly happy. I hope it's our traditional lineup, maybe not traditional, but our fan favorite lineup of the main 5, you know, Cyborg, Beast Boy, Raven, Starfire, Robin. That's a great lineup. Mm-hmm. And yeah, I don't know. What are you thinking about this?
Well, so this is being reported from the Hollywood Reporter, and when I was reading about it, I don't know if this was intentional, but they started to go over a history about the Teen Titans and that it really wasn't necessarily doing the best until they revamped the characters and added Beast Boy and Cyborg, Raven, Starfire, and there was already Wonder Girl. And that was in the 1980s, which was the New Teen Titans, which was their biggest selling comic at the time. And considering all the inspirations that I feel like a lot of what James has been pulling from, I feel like that is most likely the cast of characters that we would be getting.
Yeah.
Maybe a change here and there, but I think generally, I think you have to know that most people want that lineup. That is a lineup that people are a fan of. And I'm open to change. Honestly, I am. But maybe like if you just swap one character out of the bunch, you know?
Do you think that this is a logical spot for, because like, you know, basically I know you're gonna know where I'm going with this once I say it, but we heard that Blue Beetle was a part of this universe, but his movie wasn't canon. Do you think this is a logical spot for like Blue Beetle to end up? Because I don't know where you would put him otherwise, you know?
I think we talked about this. I think that he's too old to be a part of something called the Teen Titans.
Yeah.
I think if you're going to call it Teen Titans, then you got to make sure that they are high school age, you know? If you want to call
that is unfortunate.
If you want to call it something like Titans or whatever, like that's fine. But if you're going to call it Teen Titans, they need to be like 17, 18, 19, you know?
Well, I mean, wasn't he like 19 in Blue Beetle?
He had like graduated college.
He already graduated college? Yeah, that doesn't.
Or he was about
work.
to.
It doesn't work.
I'll look it up, but
that's brutal. Yeah, because then he's like he's almost mid-20s now. Yeah. All right. So it'd have to be Titans, which I like. I like the Titans like when they're all grown up, but I don't know if I want to see that first off. You know, I'd love to see a gradual get there.
Right.
Okay. So maybe Blue Beetle doesn't.
Jaime Reyes returns to his hometown of Palmyra City after graduating from Gotham Law University.
And he went to law school.
Now, here's the thing. We did say that that movie's not canon. Maybe you just say that he's 18.
But you've already told audiences that he's not that age, you know? I don't know. I think it's going to be an uphill battle. I wouldn't put him in this at all.
Right.
He's done. Yeah. That's unfortunate.
So if you were to add somebody, I would add like a Kid Flash. If you weren't going to do like the traditional route, I'd do like a Kid Flash.
You haven't even introduced like Flash yet. You can't introduce Kid Flash before Flash.
But if you introduce...
No, I know you want Aqualad. I think that's the character you want.
I think the Batman movie is happening before this movie.
I would bet money on it. Yeah.
But like in a way, like you're not going to see Robin in that movie other than like the Damian Wayne one. And I highly doubt that this would be the Damian that you put in the Teen Titans movie.
Yeah. What is going on? Because you have what? So this wouldn't, I mean, logically, this would not be a Dick Grayson led Teen Titans, like a tradition, like always traditionally it has been, because Damian is probably a teen in Brave and the Bold, right? Or at least 11 or 12. I don't know how old.
Yeah.
And Dick Grayson would have to be in his 20s by that point. So
potentially.
And would there be two Robins going around? Like, would you have a Damian Wayne and maybe like a Jason Todd or a Tim Grayson or Tim Drake? Like, I don't know if that makes any sense.
You in the comics, you would have like Tim Drake being Red Robin. So Look,
Sure, but I wouldn't want Red Robin leading my Teen Titans.
But it could, if it's not Tim Drake, then it could be Damian.
Which is so wild. I've never even thought of wanting Damian on a Teen Titans group. That is so not where I place him in my mind. He's always right next to Batman. But
if you make him like this moody, like Robin, who's like, and I need to prove myself to Batman, and I need to be my own person. Like, if you still
like what
put
the
him
live
there,
action Titans was.
Yeah, but he's still kind of
Batman.
He was kind of like that in the animated TV show a little bit. He wasn't so like dark, but he was still dark.
Wasn't that dark. Yeah.
But I don't know. Maybe this is a movie. Maybe this movie takes place years before. I don't know.
No, yeah, I think that's interesting. I hadn't even thought of that. I think it would be like, I am open to seeing. It's not what I want per se, but I'm open to seeing that interpretation. If they were to do like Batman first, and then like the next movie, or a movie or two after, it's Teen Titans, and Damian Wayne leaves his father to make this new team. I think I could get behind a story like that. I would be interested in seeing it. Yeah, but that's just very interesting. I hadn't thought of all that.
Which, like, I think if you're gonna introduce that as your Robin at this point in time,
right?
Like, here's the thing. Maybe it's like this. Dick Grayson or Tim Drake is like, look, I can't lead the Titans anymore. I need to go do my own thing. Damian, they need a new Robin. You know what I mean?
Or maybe like the whole team is stepping away because they're not teens anymore, right? Maybe they're like, it's a new time for like a new team to come in.
No,
but what I'm saying is like it would be Dick Grayson, Robin, and then like Wonder Girl. Yeah. Okay. Sorry, everybody. Had a little technical delay there. But I think I was in the middle of talking about the new, like the older Titans, kind of like Robin and Kid Flash,
right?
And Wonder Girl and Aqualad kind of stepping away to be their own superheroes, and then a new team comes in with Damian Wayne, and then the traditional other four that we love. I think that could be a cool.
Okay.
story.
Okay. Hold on. Okay. Wait. That might. What was the original lineup? What was the original? The original lineup was Robin, Kid Flash, Aqualad, Wonder Girl, and then like Speedy, and Speedy.
Oh yeah. Speedy.
Okay.
Yeah.
That. Okay, Ian, that actually might be what it is.
I would love that. I would love to see that.
It would be the actual like here's the new Teen Titans.
Yeah, that sounds cool as hell. It's a shame that it's not Dick Grayson anymore. I love my boy Dick Grayson.
But then you get him as Nightwing,
which is great. I love that. I love Nightwing. So yeah. I'm down for it. That's exactly how I want it to go. I'm up for it. That
would be a good idea if they do that.
Nice. Yeah. Glad we agree. Well, yeah, I guess that's my thoughts on this news. I'm super pumped.
Yeah.
Well, lastly, some humongous news. We got, not official confirmation, but it has been reported that they have offered the role of James Bond to Aaron Taylor Johnson, who you all know is Craven and Kick-Ass and all that.
Officially offered from the Broccoli's, who own James Bond and all the Ian Fleming work.
Right. So he hasn't accepted it yet.
He hasn't accepted it.
He's been offered it.
But he's been offered it. There's also been a huge PR campaign going on with him lately. Like, he just was on the cover of Rolling Stone, and there's all these outlets being like the next, Britain's next leading man.
Wow.
And I feel like this is all like, he's probably like, there's like, we know he's gonna.
They're gearing him up to do this. Right?
Yes.
Interesting.
So I think that, they wouldn't have put this out there if he wasn't, and I don't think as many people would be reporting on it if he wasn't going to take it.
That's
now we could be wrong, but just saying that, just on the assumption that he does take it, I think honestly, I love Daniel Craig as James Bond, but I think Daniel Craig's James Bond got very dark.
Sure. I mean, even in the second movie, it got dark.
Where even in the first movie, it got dark.
Sure. Yeah. It's a gritty James Bond. That's what we got.
And I like it. I really do. But
right, like I don't want to go back to the traditional James Bonds that we've had. You know,
but I do a little bit.
In a sense, not 100%.
And I think that Aaron Taylor Johnson has the potentiality to. He could do the dark. He could do a little bit of the dark, but he could also bring back a bit of like fun and charm. That's
what I want from James Bond.
Daniel Craig had charm for sure,
but it was subtle.
It was subtle, and it was more like sexy, like
right. Like I'm a hot dude, right? Yeah.
Like I'm like a silent man, like I don't talk a lot and I have sex with a lot of women, you know, but he has the potential. Now I think I don't want him to be like fucking what's his name from
Sean Connery?
I don't want him to be Sean Connery and like Goldfinger and being like men talk and just slapping girls' butts.
No, obviously the writing would serve him better for these modern times for sure. Yeah.
So, but I do think that he could bring back some of that fun, suave, bit, and I think he would look good as a spy.
No, yeah, I think the bonuses for me, like I do want a different version after Daniel Craig. Like I love Daniel Craig. To me, he's like the best James Bond we've ever had. But I want to see something new, and I think Aaron Taylor Johnson gives you more youth than Daniel Craig ever did. I think Daniel Craig was already 40 by the time they made that first one.
Yeah.
And I think Aaron Taylor Johnson's like early 30s at the moment. I could be wrong about
like
that.
Mid 30s.
Is he? I thought he was 33, but I could be wrong. He's got the height. Yeah. Okay, wow, I got it right. He's got the height. I think he could put on. I don't think James Bond ever needs too much muscle, but he's looked really good.
I mean, did you see him
muscle?
Have you seen him as what he looks like as Craven?
Yeah, no, he looks great. I don't think he's going to be that big for James Bond. We'll see. Who knows? But
I think if you took James Bond in like a John Wick kind of way, like look, could be fun. Like fun has levity. It's not that dark, but you make the action scenes like John Wick.
I think you could make the action like another level over Daniel Craig's. Like I think Aaron Taylor Johnson's got that kind of. Like he has ability to do action movies, like, and we've seen it time and time again. So, I think it works on almost every level. I'm pretty psyched about it if he takes it. So it's probably one of my choices. I think when I saw the list of people who were gonna, audition or whatever.
And it matches everything that they were talking about. Like they wanted a younger Bond,
right? Who could last for a franchise, right?
Right. So I'm down for it. I'm interested to see what kind of direction. I almost wonder if like they'll bring it back in time a little bit.
I would love that. That'd be very cool to make James Bond a period piece.
Yeah.
Wow.
Which
I'm sorry. Go on.
Well, like I think it would almost be more interesting to do it that way. But granted, like it would be the first time they would ever do something like that. I feel like.
I guess. Are you thinking because we've already seen like a modern James Bond?
You could get even more modern. But like I think I don't know. It sounds appealing to me to make it more of a period piece. But then again, I don't know if you run the gambit of like just doing the same old.
Sure.
I don't know.
Yeah, no, I think I could be down for a period piece. I think that would work. I don't know if he's traditionally what I would think of like in a 60s, 70s James Bond though. But I don't see why it wouldn't work. I'd be down either way.
Yeah.
I
mean, I could see it honestly.
Yeah.
So
yeah, for sure. Yeah, for sure. Well, yeah, that's I think that's our thoughts on that as well, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah. So yeah, that is all the topics we had today to talk about. This is the time where we talk about what we watched in the past week. Did you get to watch anything?
Yeah, I've been continuing to watch a series of unfortunate events, and
nice.
We got through the reptile room, and we're now at the wide window where we meet Aunt Josephine.
I love Aunt Josephine.
I hate her so much.
Yeah, no, I didn't mean like actually. she's a well-written character. You know?
Sure.
Yeah,
she's just such a. Like, I feel like I've been around that woman in real life where she's just nervous about everything.
Yeah.
And like, she's like, don't touch a doorknob the wrong way because you might get electrocuted, or don't start on the stove because you'll burst into flames. Yeah. And, you know, I drink all my food is cold, and, you know.
So wait, this is season 1, isn't it? Still?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I
remember. Go on.
I will say, it's funny that she's not left the house in like years, years, and these orphans come to her door and they like almost trick her into trick her into like letting them stay at home so they can like enjoy themselves for a little bit by having her go to the market because a hurricane is coming to stock up for food. And she's there for like a couple hours and then falls for this one-legged sea captain with horrible teeth.
Yeah.
And then
he got his opportunity and he took it, you know?
And then like goes out for a date afterward. And I'm like,
you were so uncomfortable going out, but now you're on a date?
All of it. Wild. Right. But I will say about the reptile room, the actor that they got to play for Uncle Monty, almost like I don't know who
I can't remember, but I remember liking it.
I can't remember. Like, I don't know who I liked more out of the movie or the TV show, but they were both so good, and you feel so bad.
Yeah, I was gonna bring that up. Yeah, I was like, I remember reading the books and feeling like this was like their one shot at a good life. Besides
the judge.
Oh, you mean in the first book?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. But after that, like, it's pretty much over. Yeah. Her and Monty were like the two good ones.
And it's just like gets progressively like worse and worse each setting that goes in.
Yeah. It gets more depressing. And it's rough. It's rough for these kids.
And I got to say, Neil Patrick Harris, I don't know. I laugh so much at his count. Like I don't know. I like the Jim Carrey one, but I think Neil Patrick Harris is doing actually a really good job.
I mean, honestly, that's why I didn't and it sucks, but like that's why I didn't continue after season 1, is because I just was like, I'm just not loving this Count Olaf enough. You know, I think that was my only like weak point in the show.
That's interesting. So, I feel like you should rewatch it sometime.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah,
it's definitely like I definitely want to see the rest of it just out of curiosity. But yeah, we'll see.
Besides that, I am all caught up on Shogun, and holy fuck, this show rules. This show is like gotta be one of the best shows I've ever seen.
No way. Nice.
I kid you not. This show is amazing. Every episode is a complete story. It's fully immersive. It's got some of the craziest, like there's a scene in the newest episode. Okay, there's a scene at the end of episode 4 where you're like, what the fuck? And it's like kind of actiony, right? Then you get to episode 5 and there's a scene where people are just having a dinner and it's the most riveting shit.
Nice.
For like,
so is there like 6 episodes like in total?
10 episodes.
10 episodes in total. Oh my god, this show is like, oh, that's amazing. I like that's the minimum I want in a show these days is 10 episodes.
And an hour long.
Oh, that's good. It's so good. It's so good.
Ian, just freaking watch it. You're gonna be so glad.
So how many episodes are out right now?
5.
5. Okay. Wow, that's great. That's great. Or maybe I should wait until they're all out. Maybe.
No, you should watch it every week with me so we can like gush about how good Shogun is.
Okay. I'm down. I just need to get Hulu, so I'll get Hulu. Yep.
And then lastly, I just watched, I finally got back to watching my For All Mankind season 4. Nice. And yeah, it's amazing. It's great. It's kind of hard to describe what's going on, but basically the Russians have had a coup, and the US and the Russians share the international like space colony on Mars. Yes, on Mars. And so you don't know what's going on there. And one of our characters gets kidnapped by the KGB. And this guy who's working as a tech, like a repairman on the ship, isn't making enough money. So he's now like doing like under the table trading. And he broke basically there's an underground bar at the station. And he wanted to help fix the thing that made alcohol to make it run faster. He ended up breaking the coolant so that they can't make alcohol anymore. So the only like cooling unit that would fit it is in the North Koreans part of the base. And that is the one rule, is you're not allowed to go over there.
Yeah, of course.
So he did this whole thing of like tricking people into thinking there's methane gas so the North Koreans would evacuate so he would go in.
Wow.
To steal this temperature coolant from the refrigerator. And one of the North Koreans like sees him do it.
Oh my God.
And then he's like, no, you can do it, but I need you to do something for me. And so at the end of the episode, he shows up at the bar and they're like, oh, hey, like, come on in. Because you think, oh, he just wants to be able to hang out at this bar. He brings a photo of his wife and is like, can you get my wife onto the ship?
Oh my God.
And
this show is insane. Wow. Okay. Maybe I'll have to start watching this one too, man.
It's so good.
Jeez. Nice. So that's season 4 though?
Yeah.
Nice. All right. Well, I didn't watch anything new this week. But I have, well, that's kind of a lie. But the main things I watched, like I rewatched Star Wars Episode 3. Just chef's kiss, just a beautiful ending to that trilogy.
Yes, where a bunch of innocent children die.
Yep, and
the Sith take over.
Just a beautiful ending. Just a beautiful,
yeah.
Just wraps it up beautifully. All the Jedi die. Yeah, it's great. And then I've been rewatching Avatar: The Last Airbender still. Slowly, but I just finished the Jet episode. If you remember that one.
No.
You don't remember Jet? He had like the forced like freedom fighters and he's gonna blow up that dam and kill all the firebenders in that town, but also sacrifice the town.
No, I don't. It's a
great episode. It's a great season 1 episode. But yeah, and then basically the only thing new I've been watching is Survivor. I'm a big Survivor guy. Some of the most incompetent players I've seen in a while, so I'll say that. But it's otherwise it's been a fun season.
Do you think they're gonna survive?
Well, no, I mean the incompetent people have been voted out. So yeah, I mean if you're incompetent, it's pretty obvious to tell, and yeah.
But like they're the most incompetent.
This guy, like the first guy who went home, was like oh man, dude, he had this enthusiasm to do things, but then would like quit everything halfway through. Like he volunteered for this challenge where they had to carry water like with these buckets with holes in them over to this big container and fill it up within like 4 hours. And he was like, oh yeah, I can do that, and like did it with somebody else. And then like an hour in, he was like, didn't the instructions say like several hours? He's like, we can't finish this. Like we can't finish this in 7 hours. And because he thought several meant 7. And
okay.
Yeah. And it's just like, it was just stuff that like time and time again, he would do that shit. And like at the same time, he like to everyone, he'd be like, oh yeah, I'm a legendary player, and like he was just had an ego, and it was like, yeah, it was crazy to watch. It was insane.
How old was he?
Probably like late 20s, early 30s.
Millennials.
He was a slot machine salesman, so that should tell you the intelligence level there. Yeah. But no, but it's been a fun season. It's been a fun one. Yeah.
Okay. So did it just start?
Yeah, there's been 3 episodes so far. The Survivor's they've gotten long too, because basically like last season was their first like supersized season where I think like every single episode was like an hour and a half.
Oh geez.
But this time the first 2 episodes were each like 2 hours long.
Oh and my God.
Yeah. And now every episode after that is an hour and a half. So
I was gonna say maybe I'll start watching it, but now I don't know if I want to watch it.
Yeah, it's 2 hours. Like those first 2 episodes are 2 hours, like with commercials. So it's not like it's just straight 2 hours. But yeah.
What are you watching it on?
Paramount Plus.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
we'll see.
we'll see. It's up to you. Like I get it if you don't have time, but I think you and Hannah would have fun with it. So.
Okay.
It's possible. Maybe you would. I don't know.
Maybe we'll try it tonight. Maybe.
Oh, okay. Well, let me know. Okay. Cool. Well, that's all I watched this week, and I think that's all you've watched for this week.
Mm-hmm.
And that's our podcast. We, as always, appreciate you for sticking around to episode 51, the end of it.
51.
51. And thank you for supporting us. And if you want to watch us in the future, we like to release our episodes on Fridays or Saturdays. If you want to support us on our social media links or sites, our links are in the description below. If you want to support us one more time, we would always appreciate a like, a comment, a rating, a review, or a subscribe.
Thank you very much if you stuck around this long. Hopefully you'll see us next week. I don't know.
I think you will. I don't doubt it.
And until next time.